Hello, everyone, and welcome to a Halloween night of today. And sorry about the late stream because I had to go get my Uncle Ronald. So today I'll be reading The Curse of the Mummy's Tomb. And I was supposed to have some guests with me, but I forgot to invite them. So hold on a bit. Invite some guests over. Mm, mm. Sorry about the late streaming. But, mm, mm. Okay, so today I am going to be doing a reading for today of chapter 1. I saw the Great Pyramid. I got thirsty. Maybe it was all the sand, so dry and yellow. It seemed to stretch on forever. It even made the sky look dry. I poked my mom in the side. Mom, I'm really thirsty. Not now, she said. She had one hand up on her forehead, shielding her eyes from the bright sun. As she stared up at the enormous pyramid. Not now. What does not now mean? I was thirsty. Now, someone bumped me from behind and apologized in foreign language. I never dreamed when I saw the Great Pyramid there'd be so many other tourists. I guess half the people in the world decorated to spend their Christmas vacation in Egypt this year. But, Mom, I said, I didn't mean to whine. It was just that my throat was dry. I'm really thirsty. We can't get you a drink now, she answered, staring at the pyramid. Stop acting like you're 4. You're 12, remember? 12 years old. 12-year-olds get thirsty too, I muttered. All this sand and air, it's making me gag. Look at the pyramid, she said, sounding a little irritated. That was that's why we came here. We didn't come here to get a drink. But I'm choking, I cried, gasping and holding my throat. Okay, so I wasn't choking. I exaggerated a little, just trying to get her attention, but she pulled the brim of her straw hat down and continued to stare up at the pyramid, which shimmered in the heat. I decided to try my dad. As usually, he was studying the handful of guidebooks he always carried everywhere. I don't think he'd even look at the pyramid yet. He always missed everything because he always has his nose buried in a guidebook. Dad, I'm really thirsty, I said, whispering, as if my throat were strained to get my message across. Wow, do you know how wide the pyramid is? He asked, staring at a picture of the pyramid in his book. I'm thirsty, Dad. It's 13 acres wide, Gabe. He said, really? Excited. Do you know what it's made of? I wanted to say silly putty. He, he oh, he's always testing me, but whenever we go on a trip, he always asks a million. He always asks me a million questions like that. I don't think I've ever answered one right. Some kind of stone. I answered. That's right. He smiled at me, then turned back to his book. It made of it's made of limestone blocks. It it says here that some of the blocks weighed up to 1,000 tons. Whoa, I said, that's more than you and Mom put together. He turned his eyes from the book and frowned at me. Not funny, Gabe. Just kidding, I said. Dad's a little sensitive about his weight. So I tried to tease him about it as often as I can. How do you think the ancient Egyptians moved stones that weighed 1,000 tons? He asked. Quiz time wasn't over. I took a guess. It's trucks. He laughed. Trucks, they didn't have the wheel. I sealed my eyes and stared up at the pyramid. It was really huge, much bigger than it looks in pictures, and much drier. I couldn't imagine how they pulled those big stones across the sand without wheels. I don't know, I confessed. I'm really thirsty. No one knows how they did it, Dad said. So it was a trick question, Dad. I really need a drink. Not now, he said. He squinted at the pyramid. Gives you a funny feeling, doesn't it? It makes me a thirsty feeling, I said, trying to get my point across. No, I mean, it gives me a funny feeling to think that our ancestors, yours and mine, Gabe, may have walked around these pyramids or even helped to build mm, them. It gives me a kind of chill. How about you? I guess I told him he was right. It was kind of exciting. We're Egyptians, you see. I mean, both set of My grandparents came from Egypt. They moved to the United States around 1930. My mom and dad were both born in Michigan. We were all very excited to see the country our ancestors came from. I wondered if your Uncle Ben is down inside that pyramid right now, Dad said, shielding his eyes from the sun with one hand. Hello, Crack. Happy Halloween! And welcome to my reading of this book. Uncle Ben hesitates, and Uncle Ben has said, I had nearly forgotten about my uncle, the famous archaeologist. Uncle Ben was another one of the reasons we had decided to come to Egypt over the holidays, that and the fact that my mom and dad had some business to do in Cairo and Alexandria and some other place. My mom and dad have their own business. They sell refrigeration equipment. It usually isn't very exciting, but sometimes they travel to neat places like Egypt, and I get to go with them. I turned my eyes to the pyramid and thought about my uncle. Uncle Ben and his workers were digging around in the Great Pyramid, exploring and discovering new mummies. I guess he had always been fascinated by our ancestors' homeland. He had lived in Egypt for many years. Uncle Ben was an expert on pyramids and mummies. I even saw his picture once in National National Geographic. When we going to see Uncle? When are we going to see Uncle Ben? I asked, and the guidebooks fell out of his hand. I helped him pick them up. Not today, Dad said, making a face. He didn't like to bend over to pick up things. His stomach got in the way. Ben's going to meet us in Cairo in a few days. Why don't we go up to the pyramid and see if he's there now? I asked impatiently. We're not allowed, Dad replied. But camels, Mom poked me on the shoulder and pointed. Sure enough, some people had arrived on camels. One of the camels seemed to be having a coughing fit. I guess he was thirsty too. The people riding the camels were tossed and they looked very uncomfortable. They didn't seem to know what to do next. Do you know how to get down from a camel? I asked my dad. He was squinting at the pyramid, studying the top of it. No, how? You don't get down from a camel, I said. You get down from a duck. I know. It's very old joke, but my dad and I never get tired of it. Do you see the camels? My mom asked. I'm not blind, I replied. Being thirsty always put me in a bad mood. Besides, what was so excited about camels? They were really gross looking, and they smelled like my gym socks after a basketball game. What's your problem? Mom asked, fiddling with her straw hat. I told you, I said, not meaning to sound so angry. I'm thirsty. Gabe, really? She glanced at Dad, then went back to staring at the pyramid. Dad, do you think Uncle Ben can take us inside the pyramid? I asked enthusiastically. That would really be outstanding. No, I don't think so, he said. He tucked his guidebooks into his armpit so he could raise his binoculars to his eyes. I really don't think so, okay? I don't think it's allowed. I couldn't hide my disappointment. I had all these fantasies about going down into the pyramid with my uncle, discovering mummies and ancient treasure, fighting off ancient Egyptians who had came back to life to defend their sacred tombs and escaping after a wild chase, just like Indiana Jones. After you, mm, I'm afraid you'll have I'm afraid you'll just have to appreciate the pyramid from the outside, Dad said, peering over the yellow sand, trying to focus the binoculars. I've already appreciated, I told him gloomily. Can we go get a drink now? Little did I know that a few days Mom and Dad would be gone, and I would be deep inside the pyramid we were staring at, not just inside it, but trapped inside it, sealed inside it, probably forever. Hello, Alex. Chapter 2. I'll be reading Chapter 2 next Halloween. If anyone would like for me to give you a shout out, I'll be glad to give you a shout out tomorrow. Because tomorrow is the 1st of November. So, yeah. So, this is going to be the end of this stream. Like, subscribe, and share this video, and ring this notification bell so you won't miss any live streams or videos from this channel. This is Halloween Kind. AmyRose.exe. Sign off. Later.